Good evening, everyone. I'm Hugh Downs. Welcome to 2020, our special salute to the Star Trek fan. Star Trek fans. Some call them strange, peculiar. Some even go as far as to say morons, geeks, worthless basement dwellers who still have not moved out of their parents' basements. Well, tonight on 2020, we're going inside the mind of the Star Trek fan. We'll chat up close right after this on 2020. Welcome back to 2020. I'm Hugh Downs. Barbara has requested for some reason the night off. I'm inside the home of the Star Trek fan. For all intents and purposes, his name will be Pat. Pat, what got you interested in Star Trek?
Well, it's tough to say. I've always been a big fan of science fiction, Orson Welles, Isaac Asimov, and one day I was just flipping through the channels and saw this show, and I was like, wow, these special effects, what is it? And so 10 minutes later, I was hooked. What can I say?
Well, that's quite interesting, actually. Would you say you've seen all of the episodes?
Oh, yeah. I mean, old and new series. Since they all went to syndication, heck, one can't help but see them all.
And now we're in the home of another Star Trek fan. His name is Daryl. Daryl, how would you classify Star Trek?
Oh, it's a classic. It's definitely a classic. I mean, it's another one of those 60s genre TV shows. You've got all those bright, vivid Technicolor colors, and the acting. It's so intense. Shatner, he cracks me up every time.
What impact do you think that Star Trek has had on the science fiction genre?
Ooh, I think it's changed it completely. I mean, first of all, it brought science fiction to television for the first time. And I think it's, on both television and in the movies, it set the standard for what science fiction is in America.
And we'll be back with more 2020 coming up right after this. I'm Hugh Downs.
New from the Hamilton collection of very expensive yet intrinsically worthless items, it's the Porcelain Starship Enterprise. It's gleaming white. It uses iridescent jewels for detailing. You'd be embarrassed to have it in your house, but we know that you'll pay hundreds of dollars for it anyway. That's why we're offering it for the new, exclusively Trekkie introductory price of only $400. That's right, $400, and this worthless, embarrassing object can be yours. Buy yours today.
And of course it's not aerodynamic. For you see, these nacelles, which is what these things are called, are the runners that allow the Enterprise to slip into warp space. See, I mean, by the physics...
Hello, I'm Hugh Downs. We're back to 2020. We're in Pat's house. Pat is a Star Trek fan, but as I've been talking to him this evening, I realize that Pat is a fairly normal Star Trek fan.
I like to consider myself so.
Well, Pat, it's good to have you back with us.
It's good to be here.
And, I just wanted to kind of ask you, have you ever been to I know they have them occasionally, Star Trek conventions?
Yes, I have. You'll find some of the most bizarre people. They're all lovable, though. Harmless, completely harmless. Great buys. I picked up this T-shirt there. This is
Vulcan. What exactly is that?
Oh, it's where Mr. Spock's from, of course. One of the lead characters on Star Trek. I think I've got something for him over here.
So, what's the most embarrassing thing you've ever done as a Star Trek fan?
Well, I suppose the thing that everybody talks about is the license plate.
Yes.
Trek 1.
So, conventions. What comes to mind?
Oh, the word you're looking for is nerd, but I'm not going to use that. They're really nice people. Lots of nice people at conventions.
Live long and prosper. Yeah, I picked this up. A friend of mine got it for me.
Embarrassing moment. Would you like to share anything with us?
Some things I could tell you.
Yeah, and then there was a time I kidnapped LeVar Burton.
What?
Oh, you heard about that, didn't you? Oh, he was walking down Sunset Boulevard, and me and a friend of mine pulled up in a van, and we grabbed him, we knocked him unconscious and put him in a van. We drug him away, and we had him in the basement of a house for like 2 weeks. We're feeding him bread and water. The police were looking for him. They were just positive he was dead, but we tied him up, and we were taking photographs of him in the nude, and it was just a whole sort of, I don't know, Trekkie thing. He was found later, well, alive, strangely enough.
Weirdest thing I've done is Trek related. Well, it had to be that shrine I built to Leonard Nimoy.
Shrine. You're speaking like photographs, pictures?
No, it's a statue.
Mm-hmm.
110 feet tall, made of spam.
Spam?
Well, it was available. Well, you didn't see it when you came in because the airport complained, the metallic properties of spam. I had to take it down. 110 feet, that's yes, spam. It was really great. I mean, it had all those features in it. 110 came from the Vulcan number based on the syllabic nucleus of their language.
Spam. Yeah, and then of course, there's the time I killed my family. Well, Captain Kirk told me over the television set that they had to die. So I got this knife, just like in the episode Mirror Mirror, like the evil Kirk. And I would stalk each of them in their bedroom, and I waited until it was very late at night. And, well, I don't really remember the killings. I sort of saw it in flashbacks from, like, Star Trek episodes, and every one of them was horribly dismembered. I'm not really sure why I was released from the institution. Probably after I killed the staff.
No. My girlfriend really didn't go for this. I mean, even though it was a birthday present, she still didn't want her ears plastic surgically altered to look like a Vulcan's. The eyebrows she didn't mind so much because all we had to do was shave off the corner and then use a little eyeliner to run it up there, so it really wasn't that bad. But, women, they can be so unreasonable for the smallest things sometimes.
What is that contraption connected to your...
Oh, this? I'm glad you asked. Ooh. This is my blood dialysis machine. See, as we speak, it's pumping all the blood out of my body, processing it through here, and dyeing it green, replacing the iron content with copper. And that way I look just like Mr. Spock, because he had green blood, too. And I'm thinking, the doctors say it might even boost my IQ some, and I'm really excited about that, Just thinking of all the genetic flaws they could fix in me. It's a little painful, but, you'll make sacrifices for Trek. That's what I always say. But see, my friends are really jealous. I mean, there's this one guy who wants, a Mugatu horn grafted onto his forehead.
I'm Hugh Downs, and we will return to our 2020 studios in just a moment. Welcome back to 2020. I'm Hugh Downs in New York. Tonight, we've looked inside the mind of a Star Trek fan, and what we've seen has been quite frightening. Next week on 2020, Cult Snake Handlers. I sense pain! Great pain! And Barbara will be back. You bitch! I'm Hugh Downs in New York. Good night.
Oh. Hi, I'm Pat Struthers. Would you like to save a Vulcan? Sure, we all would. After all, they've saved our universe countless times through Star Trek.
And now, with your generous donation of only 5,000 credits a week, you too can sponsor a Vulcan boy or girl from their burning red planet.
And you get a Keen mug with Spock's picture on it.
So please, act now so that your generous donations can help a needy Vulcan.
Live long and prosper.